guys, Dave the Penny here, coming in with my Montreal regional top 8 deck profile with true 6 samurais. So first I want to thank TeamSamuraiX1 for letting me hosting this deck profile on this channel. I want to go quickly over my matchups. I went 6-1-1 in Swiss, good enough for 6th place. I played against 3 Pendant Magicians, went 2 wins in a draw against those, 2 wins against Trickstars, 1 win against 60 card Plancher and Louis Lightsworn, 1 win against ABC, and 1 loss against True Draco. So let's get into the deck profile. So I played 3 6 Samurai Spuma. This is the only 6 Samurai I play 3 of. You will burn through all 3 copies of this, and you want to see as many of this in your hand, because the more you have, the more you can combo, as long as you've got an enabler, and you will use all 3 copies in every game. 2 6 Samurai Kizaru. I'm not very fond of 2 ofs, because it's like if you're not sure if you want to play 1 or 3. So the only reason I play 2 is when I think you require absolutely 2 usages out of that card in a game. In this case of Kizaru, you will need 2 in a deck or at some point for combos. 2 Hatsume. It's the only hard once per turn of the deck, but the deck burns through its 6 samurais pretty quickly, so you might end turn 1 with only 1 6 samurai left in the deck. You'd rather it be this one, because it gives you the option of every other one in your graveyard next turn for your follow-up play. So you will use 1 in the first turn, and the second one is going to be the one that remains in your deck. The other one, 3 1-ups. 1 Genba, basically it's better than Kage Musha, because it actually has an effect that's relevant, and it's fire, so it can be searched all the time. It's the only fire monster across all the deck and extra deck. 1 Kageki, this card is very important. You got 5 in a deck with the search spells and enables to do rank 3 plays or link plays into his ult. This card, the existence of this card in the deck makes your bad hand so much better, because you can use this with practically any of your 6 samurais to actually play something when you didn't have anything. And it's very good to search for your follow-up plays alongside Enishi. You want to make your first turn combo usually into Calamities and search these guys, Kageki and Enishi, so that next turn your opponent will have to go do awkward things to get rid of your Calamities, and then in a simplified game state, just a proactive and reactive bouncer like this, along with as long as you have 2 of them, gets pretty strong. Let's do the 6 samurais. Then I play 3 Marianne. There's a threshold of card that destroys other cards in your deck that you want, so play a maximum copy of those. It's relevant that you can search Masterpiece when it's destroyed, so if you have Diagram in this and you don't have nothing much going, you can destroy the Marianne, get the spell or the trap, and the Masterpiece. Also, when going first, game 1, banishing the top 4 of your opponent's deck with this is actually pretty relevant, because you get to see what your opponent is playing, so you can make your board accordingly and call the correct attribute with Calamities. If you're still blind, you always call dark. 1 Masterpiece. So certain matchups cannot handle it. This deck burns, as I said, through its resources pretty quickly, so you need something if the game goes on longer, and this is like the perfect thing to stick into a board when the game state gets simplified later on. And it's searchable through Diagram and Marianne. You got the 3 Baboons. This card is insane. Going second, you can actually go off with this card, because you can crash in and filter 3 cards out of your hand. Going first, most of your most insane boards start with this card. Rank 3s are pretty strong in the deck, as I'll show later. So also this with any win in your deck, and Marianne is also a pretty good combo. 3 Baboons, 1 Terratop, 1 Takaton board. This I played like twice in the day, and 1 time with Reincarnation the way, and 1 time was pretty much relevant. It was this, but basically this card is insane when you draw it, and this card is good when you draw it. So why not? Just having a level 3 that can be special summoned pretty much with any monster in your deck is actually pretty relevant, because rank 3s are extremely strong in this deck. For hand traps, play only 3 Gammas and a Driver. It's a good card defensively, but the good points to hit your combos for most people are going to be Diagram, and this just wins the game when you go use an offensive Gamma. And defensively, it's a better goal stoker. So first spells, play 3 Dragonic Diagram, 3 Terraformings, and then 1 Pseudo Space and 1 Step Rotation, just to have the 7th diagram. And if you draw this, it's a diagram as long as you drew one of these the 6-letter ones. Then Rhoda and 3 Smoke Signals. This search of 6 Samurai. So these are your 4th through 7th copies of Fuma and your 2nd through 5th copies of Kageki. That's pretty much the only monster you can search, and very late in the game, if it does get there, you can get Hatsumi. But the versatility of this card is amazing. I want to start because the combo deck, I want to play as few cards as possible. Soul Charge and another of your bomb. Like if you can commit everything to the board, and Soul Charge or Kizaru's will trigger, getting you searches. Monster Draco Heritage. This is the 40th, well, with Upstart Gundam, I might say the 39th card of the deck. It's the worst card in the deck. It's still good. It's the one searchable backer removal, and it allows you to make proactive Masterpiece. But Monster Spell Masterpiece is usually worse than Monster Trap Masterpiece. But the extent of this card in the deck was good enough. It's the only card in the deck that I'm not 100% sure that it was the correct call to play it, but it went well. The last spell is 1 Moon Mirror Shield. It's not to actually be Moon Mirror Shield, it's actually being equipped to send with Izal to the graveyard. The only effect that's relevant is that it can shuffle itself back into the deck. So that if you draw it and want to still go into Izal, you can equip it to one of the monsters you're going to link and send this back to the deck and activate Izal's second effect. And once your King's Return, in fast matchups, this is the Disruption Masterpiece. In slower matchups, this is a win condition on its own when the game gets longer. As I said, the deck burns through all of its samurais pretty quickly. That's for the main deck. Extra deck, 1 Link Karibo, useful when you make a Izal play. I'll show you. On the Clock Taker, depending on situations, it allows you to make your calamities below your extra monster zone, so that next turn it's way easier to actually have access to your zones. 1 Izal. This card is insane in this deck. It searches your follow-up. It summons a Fuma by pitching the equip. And if you need removal, you can use the Fuma into Link Karibo, and then link these two into Ningirsu, and that's added removal. 1 Decode, when you have make rank 3 is the best rank 3 available. Metaltron's not useful in this deck, the 3-pointers. And if you're going to go with 2 extra deck cards, would be with Izal and Link Karibo, and you're most likely going to go to 1 to Ningirsu. So 1 Decode Tucker. 1 Borload, I just wanted to have 1 link answer to stuff that's difficult to get rid of. So 1 Borload. 1 Invoker for pretty much every rank 3 combo. 1 Break Sword for removal. This card is great. Has great synergy with Fuma. Can destroy the Fuma, destroy another card, and trigger the Fuma. It's actually a warrior, so when it gets effect veilered, or if it destroys something and you destroy something else to keep it on the board, you can link this into Izal, then go Ningirsu, get rid of another card. But Guska is your emergency button, so put a 1 Calamities, you go into this every time that you combo. It's the safest card to combo into, because it's 1 card that 6 on the field, cannot be punished by evenly matched. People are not playing Gamma, so at the beginning of their turn, you call the attribute that hurts them the most, or Dark if blind, and just you're sure that their turn is going to be nothing, basically. 1 Xian. This card is really not as good as when it came out, but it's good against certain matchups. Let's say Trick Stars or ABCs with back rows. You see that you're not usually the first threat that you make, but at some point later in the game can make this. So if your hand's pretty weak, you can summon this in the matchups that it's good enough. But the one Xian is important. 1 Coral Dragon for the combo that I'll show later on. 1 Omega to go with the Gamma. And I chose this one because it gets rid of the extra monster zone. Cloud Castle, go with to make the tricking about calamities. Basically, what you do is that you get worth 9 levels on the field, and you synchro the Tuner 2 with the level 4 into Coral Dragon, and then with the 3 into Cloud Castle. So you get to revive your Marion and draw a card. So it's better to gain cards. It's better to gain cards in combo decks than to get rid of cards from your opponent. as with Trishula, but Trishula is actually a great win condition when you're going to retrieve things to board. It's also level 9. Side deck. The 3 ofs are in the side deck are the cards that I was getting in against certain matchups. The 2 ofs are more for versatility. If I wanted to get rid of something for a certain matchup, so 2 Chaos Hunter, mostly for Trick Stars, but depending on the situations, there might be card I want to take out. So 2 Chaos Hunter, 3 Sphere Modes, going second against Pendulum, 3 Lancells. It was for Invoked, I guess, my front wave I saw, but I did not see any of these decks. 2 Twin Twisters. Against I used those against Trick Stars and ABC. It was great. I want to have some back removal somewhere, either in my main or side. 3 barriers. Going first against Pendulum. This is I just saw the Sphere Modes with this. And then 2 Torrentials. Matchups is I wanted to take out a package like Gamma, which is 4 cards, and to have another 2 that I could get in. So that's it for deck. I just want to show you the bread and butter play quickly. What you want to have is, let's say, Fuma and access to Diagram. So you're going to activate Diagram, destroy the Fuma, and then search for Marianne. Fuma will trigger special summoning Kizaru from the deck. Kizaru will trigger, giving you another Fuma. You can activate Marianne. Destroy the Kizaru and the Fuma. Activate Fuma, special summon Hatsume from the deck. Hatsume will activate, banishing 2 Fumas, special summoning Kizaru. Kizaru will activate, searching your Genba. Then you can null summon the Genba, add back the Fuma, Synchro for Coral Dragon, and then Synchro these 2 for Cloud Castle, and draw a card. Let's say this is a card. And then you can overlay these into Calamities. That's the simplest of the combos. If all your other cards did not have any utility, because if you had another Fuma, you could have destroyed those with Marianne and got Underclock and still this, because you could use Cloud Castle to revive the Marianne that you linked with. With Bell Baboons, it's actually a +6 play. You end with Decode, linking with Kizaru and Tricking of all Calamities, with Kageki in hand, and with Inishi. The last thing I want to show is anytime you get to access a rank 3, the options that you have. So let's say in the worst case scenario, you have Kageki and Hatsume. You can normal Kageki, special Hatsume, and you go into Invoker. And Invoker is going to special summon Kizaru from your deck, which will trigger, and then you get search whatever you want, usually Fuma. And then these are both warriors, so you can link into Isolde, which will search. At this point, you might want to search Enishi, and then activate the other effect. You're going to get rid of the Moon Mirror Shield in your deck to special summon Fuma from your deck. So summon Fuma from your deck. And at this point, if you have, let's say, if you have a Marianne that you had got 2 Fumas you can destroy with, or you could be linking that Fuma away for the link reroll, and then you can use those 2 to go into Ningirsu, and then you've already forced something out of the field without using Marianne or Diagram, and then you can actually use Diagram, destroy this to combo up. So thank you guys for watching this profile. I hope to continue playing this deck, maybe some other decks too, and if everything goes well, maybe playing this at Nationals. So thank you guys. Bye.
I feel like Usain in the cheetah print. Talk fresh game, I don't need a minute. R.I.P. the game, I need a minute. Okay, let's proceed with it. I'm in the house, got the deed with it. These bozos always sneak.